It's DC101-derland here in the Mattress Warehouse broadcast booth. Mike Jones with Spoon. Hello, gents. Hello, boys.
Hello.
How
you doing?
I'm doing all right. I would say you guys are doing pretty well this year. 2 albums. Do we consider it 2 albums? Let's get that off the bat.
Let's call it 2 albums.
2 albums. Okay. Lucifer on the Sofa, Lucifer on the Moon, Grammy nomination, tons of touring and everything. Austin City Limits. I want to talk about that. You think this is Spoon's best year yet? I mean, with everything that's happened, it's got to be one of the best.
It's a big one. It is definitely a big year. Yes, let's call it that.
Okay. 2022, best year yet.
Yeah.
How did this second album come about? Because Lucifer on the Sofa came out in it was February.
Right.
You put that out, had the tour all over the place, went to the 930, right up the street this way, some way. But, and then a couple months later, you're like, hey, let's do something else with these songs. How did that come about, the whole remix of everything?
Well, we thought we were just going to do a couple remixes, maybe, and then we ended up working with this guy, Adrian Sherwood, who's this dub legend from the UK, and he was just so great. And, it's more than remixes, really. We call them reconstructions because he was adding a ton of instruments. He has these session musicians that he has that are part of his label, and just really turned the songs into something else entirely. And once he did a couple of them, they were so good that we just kept going, and then he was like, you know what, I got to do every song. And then we had an album, which we weren't expecting, so we decided to just put it out as one collection instead of just parse them out throughout the year,
Is it hard to put that much trust into someone outside of the band like that? To redo your songs? Like, how long did you guys work on?
He wouldn't have gotten very far if we didn't.
Okay, yeah.
You wouldn't have heard it. But yeah, he was good, and right from the beginning we could tell this is working.
Yeah. It's a cool thing. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet, it only came out a couple weeks ago, right?
Right.
Yeah. Lucifer on the Moon. It's a whole bunch of remixes and everything. Plus, as if you weren't busy enough there, also covered the Beatles, too, for Christmas.
Right.
Which that just came out, too. Like,
well, it came out. It's been re-released
for
Christmas.
Yeah. But it's another cool thing that you guys have added on to 2022.
Yeah.
Why that song? Why that Beatles song in particular? Because
we tried a few.
Yeah, we tried a few, and I think that was just easy and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the recording happened pretty quickly.
We played what's the Chuck Berry song we played over and over again?
Run, Run, Rudolph.
Run, Run, Rudolph. Yeah.
I remember you totally blew out your voice.
I blew out my voice, and then with what was left of it, we recorded the Beatles song.
It's like there's what, 8 zillion Christmas songs. How do you pick one to cover? But
I mean, there's a lot of bad Christmas songs. There's a lot of songs that are good songs, but you don't really want to hear this band play them. I mean, la 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 la. I don't think I'm gonna. But yeah, it's actually a fairly unknown song, especially for being a Beatles song.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that just came out on one of their Christmas records. And I like, doing that, doing a cover that, people have not really been exposed to too much.
Do something different. Like, do something that's like, oh, that's fun. I didn't know it was their song originally.
Right. Yeah.
Also, Austin City Limits, that was, what, your 5th time playing it?
That sounds right.
5th, okay. Do you know who's done the most?
Are you mean the TV show?
Yeah.
Probably Willie Nelson, or if it's not Willie Nelson, it's...
Makes sense. I mean...
Yeah.
Willie's probably done it like 1,000 times
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah.
It's one of those cool shows that I think gets overlooked. It's like, it's on PBS. You guys have been on there, the Foo Fighters. I mean, so many great bands have come through Austin City Limits and played that show. It's unfortunate that it's at midnight. That's the only time you get to see it on PBS, But
oh, is that right?
yeah, I mean, at least around here, at least in DC. But I love watching. I think those things are cool. Is that a goal for Austin bands? Like, that's one of the plateaus of like, oh God, we played Austin City Limits. That's
it was
pretty
something
cool.
I definitely did not expect to happen.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I would watch. It would be on PBS, and I would watch, Johnny Cash be on, or Tom Waits, or whoever. It was much more of a rootsy kind of thing. And then they started opening up when they invited us to play it in for our record Kill the Moonlight. I was kind of shocked, but yeah, it's always been a good gig.
Yeah. Is it a special room when you go in there? You feel like that magic?
Yeah. It's a nice stage. It's a nice wooden stage.
It looks like a
good
really
vibe
cool
in there.
thing. I'd love to go down there for a taping. We actually did our honeymoon in Austin. You guys have an awesome city. It was really
Did your honeymoon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Have you guys ever been to Peter Pan Golf?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
been
it's
there.
right by my house.
Okay, you know you can bring alcohol there. We brought a 6-pack and some 40s there for our honeymoon. Best night of our
Oh, nice.
best night of the honeymoon.
Nice.
You can use your imagination. There's a kid in the room, so I'm not going to go any further than that. Also, Grammy nomination. Let's not forget that either. That's a pretty big deal for you
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
You know, is that the first one?
Yeah, it is the first one.
How like you get that news? Shock, like surprise, like oh man, this.
I was shocked. I was kind of, we were the last band listed, and I was like, well, we're not going to get this. Like,
because they listed alphabetically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. Very cool thing. You know, sometimes the Grammys, they get it, and sometimes there's certain bands that they miss the boat on. But you know, if they do recognize you, then that's a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's your peers. That's people above. That's a pretty cool thing. It is a strange mix in the category, though. You guys can say that too. So let me tell everyone, it's Spoon, Machine Gun Kelly, Idols, Ozzy Osbourne, Elvis Costello, and the Black Keys. It's like that's a bit of everything going on all at once for that one category.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Are you guys going to go to the ceremony?
I think so.
well, working it out. Yeah, I don't know. Just because you get nominated doesn't guarantee you a ticket, apparently.
Oh, really?
I
Oh.
think so. I don't know.
Well, they
I think we're gonna figure out a way.
I think we have to make it happen.
Yeah, you guys got to go for sure. First time they got to get you guys in there.
Yeah.
Ozzy's probably been in a bunch of times.
Exactly, yeah.
So the last thing before we get you guys out here on stage at DC101-derland, and thanks for doing the show for us. What's the Christmas plan? What are you guys going to do? We got a couple weeks. Are you done shopping? Are you going to just hang low in Austin? What's going to be happening?
Oh, we're gonna have a group get together. We're gonna make some cookies.
Little gingerbread house.
Work on our next Christmas cover. I think that's about it.
A new one. All right. Well, we'll hopefully you don't blow out your voice in this next one either.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for coming out for DC101-derland. Spoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, boys.
Good to see you, Mike Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you.